Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special episode of From This Point Forward, a Comedy Buffalo Sabres podcast. Not going to just talk about the Sabres here tonight. We're going to, me and Chris, Ryan's not joining us, me and Chris are going to do a little NHL playoff preview show for you here, and Sabres are part of that for the first time in 15 years. It's going to be a fun show. Let's go.
Yes.
Acknowledge the fact that in one of your favorite movies of all time, you thought the slogan was "Ducks quack forever" instead of "Ducks fly together."
No,
it's
you also
bad.
think they live in wells. It's the whole theme of the movie, Lou. But he had the duck call.
They go quack.
It would be Malcolm Subban, mostly because that one season where instead of letting him play for the Sabres for the last game of the year, they had him sing the national anthem. And it was a real, like, you're under contract, the season is over. We know you've only gotten to be up here a couple of times. How about you come back up here? Oh, great, I'll put my pads in the car. No. You won't need them. Just make sure you warm up the pipes when you're driving down the 90.
Mitch Marner.
You heard it, Mitch. If you want to sign here, you can drill Ryan's mom.
Chris, how are you today?
Oh, it's a beautiful day to be a Sabres fan.
It truly is. It'd be a little bit better if we were playing today. Oh, look at you got the beard. Okay.
NHL.
You're breaking up bad.
Playoffs, everybody.
You're breaking up bad. We didn't catch you there. I'm gonna kind of boot you there. And,
I might have disappeared.
Yeah, you did disappear there. We didn't catch much of that. I did see the sword in the air, but maybe have to try to adjust again. That we have. You weren't the one that paid $800 on eBay for that, were you? You got that fair and square.
No, I was not. Traded the Dingus Day game ticket for somebody to pick one up for me.
That works pretty well. There's so much stuff to talk about. Say, I would love the Sabres game to be tonight instead of tomorrow because I was offered a ticket if it was Saturday. Would have someone had a miss, and then all the rumors were Saturday. I was feeling really good about it. And switch to Sunday. Yeah. So if you are listening and have an available ticket Sunday, I am willing to, I'm just not quite willing to pay where the secondary market is right now. I posted today, I'll trade any Bills ticket next year besides the opener straight up. I do think I have a number in my head. I do think that number grows every beer I have tomorrow. So we'll see. I feel
I cannot wait for Monday night to hear that you drained your daughter's college fund to go sit alone in 300s for the first playoff game.
Are you going? Do you have game one?
I am, yes.
Yeah, you have game one.
I have all of the games.
We have a huge lag right now, but it's not brutal to where we can't talk. So, let's get into the playoffs here. We're going to run through just the playoff series, make this more about that, and then we'll be back Monday night with Mira talking about game one and the rest of the series for the Sabres. But let's start out west and go, I guess, the most lopsided series we'll start with As far as the betting odds, Colorado versus the Kings. Colorado's a minus 450 favorite. Pretty big disparity. Everyone's kind of calling this their sweep. I don't know if there's not enough parity in this league to feel like that confident about it. But what are you thinking on this series?
I mean, it's hard not to lean Colorado because they've been so good all year. But I mean, think of years past where it's the Oilers running through the West and they play LA to open things off and it goes to 7 games. I wouldn't count LA out. I wouldn't. Kopitar's last year, they got a lot to play for. I don't think they'll win the series, but I could see this going 5-6 games. I don't think it's as clear cut as everybody says for Colorado.
I'm with you. I mean, I like the composition of the Kings roster. It really hasn't come together for them this year. But honestly, I mean, and again, they got in coast mode after the great start, but like Colorado hasn't been, obviously the same standard that they started the year there the last couple months. But I don't know. If they go in expecting that, I think that they're going to be surprised. I'm with you. I expect the Kings to get a game or two. I don't expect it to be a sweep, but
I could see a split in the first 2 games in Colorado. I could see LA taking one of those.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't see. And if that's the thing too, like, so with that, like, because everybody has it as a sweep, that like it's hard to bet a minus 450, in any series. Just you're not getting your money's worth. But if you do want to bet Colorado, maybe you wait to see if the Kings steal one of those games in the first round, and then that comes down a little bit, that price.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm Colorado. It's hard to think anything different there. We don't need to spend a lot of time on that. Next series is the Edmonton Oilers and Anaheim Ducks. Oilers are the 3rd biggest favorite at minus 220 in this first round. We've had this discussion many a times.
I know how you feel. I know how you feel.
Where are you?
So the same thing every year in the playoffs. It's hard to count Edmonton out because you have 2 of the best players on the planet that can just flip the switch. If both of them aren't going, at least one of them is. But man, Anaheim is fun. Like, I feel like it's going to be a closer series than people think. And Edmonton, it's always going to be, do they have a goaltender that shows up for 4 games out of a series? You know what I mean? Like, they're going to score, but will they have to win 5-4 in overtime the first 3 games of the series? And I think Anaheim is the kind of team that can skate with them.
100%. I think we're going to see like some dumb games. I think we're going to see like a 7-6.
Yeah.
I think there's that potential. Anaheim's dog shit on the defensive zone, but they can score. Edmonton's not, great defensively. And like you said, the goaltending is, it's been better this year, more consistent, but hard to count on in big games. I think the series is going to be the most fun to watch for sure. I think Edmonton sneaks by. I'm going to call them in 7. I think they're going to have way a tougher time with this series than most people are giving it credit for.
Yeah, this is out west. This is the only series I feel firmly will get to 7.
Yeah, I feel strong about that too. So I'm surprised we're on the same page because I think most people think Edmonton will go easy here. I don't expect that. The worst thing here with the NHL, I mean, you get a whole weekend, and you're putting your best player, your most marketable player's first game at 10 o'clock on a Monday for the East Coast fans. I mean, what is this? This league is we could talk about the whole schedule debacle and all that, but this league is the most Mickey Mouse league when it comes to marketing. It's insane. It's frustrating.
Yeah. Brutal.
Yeah, I will be staying up. Hopefully Monday night at 10 to watch the. I mean, I think the series is going to be must watch hockey. I think it's going to be so much fun. Maybe I'm wrong and it goes the other way, but the thing too out of the goaltendings, I mean, both of Edmonton's. I hate them just as much as I hate New England football. As much as those goalies, they might both play, but Dostal is out of the three, I think, by far the goalie that can steal a game too for Edmonton or for Anaheim. So I wonder if that doesn't happen a game or two as well.
Yeah.
Next series out west, we have what is it? Vegas and Utah. Vegas minus 190. They're pretty. I think Vegas is fourth overall in the odds to win the Stanley Cup, which is insane. I know you haven't liked them all year. Where do you see this series?
I feel like Vegas is going to take it. I don't know what to make of Utah. I haven't seen a whole lot of them. But I mean, everybody knows the West is probably the cakewalk conference, and Vegas has that experience. They've been there before. They got the guys locked in. I want to lean Vegas, and I don't think it's going to be very hard for them.
This is one where I want to take the underdog badly. I believe even yesterday, we know Louie G takes. They definitely change quickly. I'm almost positive yesterday I posted that I think Utah would win in 7. Let me just check where I was on that before I go strong here. Yeah, I had Utah in 7. Okay, I knew that. I'm as we sit here and talk today, this is where I want to flip to Vegas in 7 is just that if it does go to a game 7, I want to believe in the experience and, the better players in Vegas to win that game. But I think Utah pushes them a little bit more again than what people are giving it to. And obviously anything could happen in a game 7. Vegas is just like it could go either way here. I mean, it could go really bad. They made the goaltending change late in the year. They made the coaching change late in the year. Those things could be boost for them and take them to the finals, or this could just be like, oh, these were last ditch efforts to see if we're good and doesn't work out.
Yeah. They are by far the most bipolar team in this playoff, I think.
Yes. As far as like the potential that they have and, how they've played most of the year, I totally agree. This is, to me, I mean, I'm not going out of saying anything crazy because even the odds say it. Dallas is a minus 120. Minnesota is even money. The closest series in the playoffs this year, both conferences. I have my money on whoever wins this series winning the West. These are my two favorite teams in the West. Again, so many things to bitch about with the NHL and how they do things, and this is insane that these two teams have to play together and play each other in the first round. But I'm leaning Minnesota. That has a little to do with Ottinger and how he's played in the past, and playoffs, and yada yada. I like both. I really do. I love both these teams. They would be, if they were in different brackets, I would be 50-50 on them coming out of the West. I didn't think Colorado was good. I don't love Vegas, Edmonton, whatever. I just really like these two teams. I'm going to lean Minnesota in 7, but man, this is the one that I'm most sure about going 7.
Yeah. I feel like if you asked me a month ago, I probably, if the playoffs started a month ago, it would have been Dallas, no question, getting through this round and probably in 5. I'm leaning towards a longer series here. I feel like this is another one where if Minnesota takes that first game in Dallas, I think it's a wrap for Dallas. I mean, home ice is whatever these days, but they're very skilled, but they don't seem to have like strength against adversity, I guess, is what I noticed towards the end of the season, where it was like the last 2 weeks, a lot of times they would just mail in a game if they went down in the first period, even when everybody was fighting for position. Um, so this one's probably going to wind up 7, but I really feel like if Minnesota takes that first one, that it's going to be a little more lopsided.
Yeah, I do think it goes 7. I agree with you. I mean, they're right now Heiskanen is questionable for game 1. Rupe Hintz is not playing for sure game 1. Might miss the whole first round. Those are two obviously really, big players for them. We'll see. This is a coin flip for me. I don't want to lay it, but again, two of my favorite teams. I think whoever comes out of it does get to the Stanley Cup Finals. I'll go lean Minnesota there. Out east, let's start with, like the luckiest draw here that these two teams are playing together when whatever. But Pittsburgh, Philly will at least be fun. They're, to me, the two worst teams in the Eastern Conference.
Yep.
By far. For me, I think I wanted to bet against both of them in the first round, and here they are playing each other. I'm going to lean Philly a little bit because of how well they had to play down the stretch to get in. Mm-hmm. And they did look good. And then they got Martone to come in and look good at the end, a young kid. They kind of figured it out in the back end. You got former Sabre Rasmus Ristolainen playing really good hockey on power play 1 going into the playoffs. Like he's kind of had he's never been in a playoff game. He's going to play his ass off here. The goaltending has overall been better in Philly this year with Vladar's been really good. I'm going to go Philly. I think it could be, I think I called it in 6 or something, but I think this could go the other way pretty easily. I like Philly more. I've never liked Pittsburgh this year, and they've kept winning. So I don't want to I got Philly in 6. I think I predicted. I'll stick with that.
I feel like with Pittsburgh, it's just they kept on winning, but also they kept on winning in the second worst conference in hockey. You know what I mean? Like outside of that Pacific, like the Metro was pretty brutal this year. I feel like we used to say about Tom Brady, time has to catch up with Crosby and Malkin like they have an old roster coming up against a young, hungry Philly team. I don't want either team to win this series. I don't like that this is the marquee game today. I feel like they robbed us of a beautiful 70-degree game 1 party in the plaza. I hate this series. If I had to pick one of them, I'm probably going to go with Philly for the same reasons you said. And Pittsburgh, I feel like they've been playing with house money all year, and it's going to run out eventually.
Yeah, I like where Philly really has looked this. I mean, they charged here this last, so they've been playing. It's always like one of those things, like you can look at that either way, right? Like they've been playing quote unquote playoff hockey for 2 months to like force themselves into this. So are they more prepared for playoff hockey because of that, or are they, going to tire out? But to me, I think that that doesn't tire out in the first round. Maybe that's what we say in the second round when they play a much better team, they putter out. But I think that they are better than Pittsburgh overall, and that they win the series. Next series, this one a lot closer. This is the same odds as Pittsburgh, Philly. Pittsburgh was minus 170. Philly was plus 140. Carolina is only minus 170 against Ottawa. And here's my first big prediction. I think Ottawa beats Carolina in 7.
I could see that this is so when you said this one's almost even betting lines, that doesn't surprise me because these feel like the same team. They feel like the same team with a really skilled top two lines, an incredibly mediocre bottom six, boring defense with strong goaltending, and they're just looking for those quick center ice turnovers to get a rush. Otherwise, this is the exact opposite of the Anaheim Edmonton games where it's like there's going to be a lot of skating but no scoring. This is going to be like 1-0, 2-1s. Like
I tend to agree. I was surprised to see the over under today's game was 6.5. So that kind of caused me a little bit to like, a little bit pause in that thinking.
Yeah,
obviously that doesn't mean everything, but here's my thing with that, where you can make the justification for it maybe being a higher scoring series is that Brandon Busey, rookie, I know he's played great this year, but you never know how these guys are going to take the pressure. And then Allmark, admittedly is still going through some mental health stuff. And is he built to take on this type of pressure? So I do think I do think that they both are question marks, at least, although they've played really well. But I think the two teams, like you said, the rosters are much more evenly matched than people think. And they would both scare me as a Sabres fan, to be honest. I mean, we wouldn't have to play them next round, but I'm so glad we got Boston instead of Ottawa, because I think Ottawa is poised for an upset here. I think they haven't played as good as they could the whole season.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just shocked at that 6.5.
It's a little crazy. It is a little crazy. Maybe that's just like a little game one, both goalies, jitters. Maybe, maybe the teams play a little bit more open. It always doesn't seem like this is a me thing. So this is just this is what I'm thinking. I have no information to back it up. Maybe by Monday I'll look into it. It does feel like day games get played a little bit looser than night games. That is just 100% my perception.
Yeah. I
wonder if
I
I'm
get
right.
what you're saying with that. It does feel like those matinee Saturday matchups, Sunday matchups get a little squirrely.
Yeah.
I don't know the data to back it up either. I'm just going off of, experience,
and perception.
but I'm not watching every Saturday game. I'm not watching a Columbus Seattle Saturday Classic in November. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Next series, this is really surprising to me. Tampa is the second biggest favorite in the first round at -250. You could get Montreal at +205, which is 2-1 on your money. I don't see how these two teams can't be looked at as even teams. I'll let you go first, and I'll give you my prediction, but this should be way more even as far as the betting odds, in my opinion.
I mean, I guess this is kind of what we were talking about with the last series. I think the biggest question mark is the Montreal goaltending for the entirety of the series. Like, again, like playoff Vasilevsky is always on point. He's getting older. Maybe that changes, but I think if you're for the bookmakers' purposes, you have a very consistent record on one side with an experienced team, and then you have a team that's been riding the hot hand in net on the back end. And man, they've had some times where that has been three goalies who cannot stop a shot for a 3-game stretch. Now, goaltending being relatively even, I'm surprised that it wouldn't be more of an even matchup. I think that these two teams are built to play each other in something like this. Different styles, but like the clash of them, in my mind, look like that's who you would want to play. I'm excited for that series as much as I don't want to play either of those teams really next round. I'm excited to see it play out. Let's hope
Well,
they
I'm
beat the shit out of each other and go 7 games.
That's it. You like that's what I'm excited about. I'm most excited about one of them being out,
Yeah.
and they won't be a team that we will have to play. So that's where I'm most excited in the series. I just think Montreal is so much faster than them. You make obviously, I don't think the toughness is as much of an advantage for Tampa as some people think. I mean, Montreal's got a little bit of grit to them. Obviously, the goaltending is a big thing. Experience is a huge thing. You got the best player in the world right now, maybe even better. I mean, Kucherov is probably your MVP this year. So you got that. I like the storyline with LeCavier and playing Tampa and all that stuff is kind of a cool storyline. I'm going to have Montreal in 7 here. I think they're going to travel well. I think you're going to see just like they do in Buffalo. I mean, it's closer, but I think they're going to, who's not going to go to Montreal to go to Florida, take the opportunity to go to Florida. Those tickets are probably way cheaper than you could get here in Buffalo. I bet you they travel well, and there's a big Montreal fan base there. So I'm going to go Montreal in 7. I do think Tampa sticks with them. But this betting line scares me. And also, like, Tampa Bay, I think, has the second best odds to win the Stanley Cup. So that is scary too, right? Like, that's Vegas telling you what they think of them. I do not have that thought of them. I did the last 2 months. They look like a slowly dying team, but
they kind of have the same. If you would have asked me a month ago about Tampa Bay, I would have had them probably rated stronger to at least make the conference finals than after the post-Olympic break. Every week that went by, I was less and less confident in them.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll end it with this. We Buffalo Sabres are minus 175. So they come out to be the fifth highest favorite of the round. For me, easily the best matchup that they could have gotten out of the playoff teams in the East. Your thoughts, and then I'll kind of piggyback off of those.
I'm going to say something controversial. Boston in 3.
They find the way.
I felt we had the conversation on here. I don't play the would I rather going into. I just wanted them to get that X by the name and worry about everything else later. I think they landed in the best spot that they could have. It's not, especially if you're going to play the experience game and say, who on the Sabres roster has playoff experience. 4 guys, 5 guys, and 3 of them don't dress regularly. I think outside of one line with Boston, this team can skate circles around them. The last couple weeks of the season, there was a lot of times where it was a little concerning watching Buffalo. They weren't playing their game. But I think if they stick to the script, if they play the game that they've been playing 70% of the season, I think should be a relatively quick series for them.
Yeah. I have Sabres in 5. I mean, they're faster, miles faster. I know Marco Sturm wants to think that they're bigger and tougher. That does not equate. If you look, I know size, actual tallness is different than bigger, but
Marco Sturm didn't read all those reports at the start of the season about everybody putting on 20, 25 pounds, eating Tage Parms. He doesn't understand.
No, Marco Sturm did not know about the off-season weight gain program. He hasn't seen the updated stats. Really weird. I mean, I guess I get what he's trying to do. I think, he's trying to motivate an underdog team and whatever, but there is, I mean, I'll tell you this, they find a way to lose tomorrow, the Sabres, and I'll feel like the series is over because I just cannot imagine that place is just going to be rocky. And it's going to be the first playoff game since 1993. I'm not going to be there for it. It's going to be the first playoff game in the last 15 years for the city. So many people there have just been, with the secondary market. I think our friend Zach Sheldon tweeted this morning, with the secondary market being what it is and people paying that price, there should be an elite fan experience tomorrow. You're going to have the diehards in there. I just think we blow them out of the water tomorrow, and that just might be the nail in the coffin right away for them. I just think the Sabres are faster. They're better defensively. Goaltending's the only place you might be able to give Boston, and Swayman's been
hasn't been Swayman. Yeah, he hasn't been Swayman like he's been in the past. Now, like all these goalies, most of them have a playoff switch. Some of them have the unplayoff switch. Connor Hellebuck, I'm looking at you. But, like your Swaymans, your Vasilevskis, even though he's not in it this year, your Bobrovskis, they turn into different guys when it gets to this time of year, typically. But he's been so all over the place most of the season that I'm not too worried about them. I'm also not overly worried about Boston scoring.
No. And you know what?
That's the thing.
Yeah. Where's that scoring coming from? I mean, Pasternak, yeah, sure. And Geeky's even come down to earth here the second half of the year. He started off super hot, and now he's kind of slowed down. And where else is the scoring? I think a lot of the league, the river hockey comments and all this stuff, I think a lot of the league just assumes the Sabres are just like this fast going offensive team, but this is one of the best defensive units in the league.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it equates to, especially on that run where they were putting up 4, 5, 6 a game. And I think a lot of the team, like Boston, who they didn't really play during the meat of that run, thanks to the last few years where it's like, yeah, the Sabres will score 4, 5, 6 goals, but you're going to be able to put 7 in on them. Easy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be leading 7-3 in the third, and they're going to put in 2 in the last couple minutes and make it look closer than it was. And that's not this team anymore.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. We will see tomorrow. I hope you enjoy yourself. If I don't hurt you before and steal your ticket,
I'm gonna kill somebody with this if they lose tomorrow.
I hope everybody going to the game enjoys it, and we will be back Monday night to talk about the results from game ones, and we still won't be able to talk about Connor McDavid because he will not have played yet, but we will be here talking about the game ones, and and Brian will share his thoughts on the rest of the series, and we will see you then Monday night 9:00. For Chris, Louie G, have a good night.